right, welcome to Miami's podcast. Today's guest is Robert Rushing. He's the founder of Rushing Rentals. He manages a fleet of 25 luxury and exotic vehicles and operates in Miami and Tampa. You've litigated and won against some of the largest insurance companies in the nation. You grew from 0 to 2 million in sales revenue within 2 years. Robert, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, yeah. So tell us a little bit about Rushing Rentals. How did you start this business? Where'd the idea come from?
Yeah, so I actually used to work in the industry for other competitors. They're competitors today, but back then they were my employers. So I've been in the space for a while since 2018, but Rushing Rentals started January of 24. So from that point forward, it was all like for my own brand of business, it was really rewarding because I've been doing it for so long just for other people. So now I get to benefit or enjoy some of the perks that come with the business.
I love it. What inspired you to leave and start your own thing?
Yeah, I'm sure a handful of people can relate to this. Like if you are like climbing a corporate ladder, there's only so many rungs before you're kind of like button heads with some of the people at the top, or people at the top that maybe don't want to bring more people into an equity circle. So, at a certain point, it just makes sense. You either like stick with what you've got right here, or to continue growing, you have to step out. So I was in a position like that where for me to continue growing professionally, I kind of had to step away. And I'm so thankful I did. It was scary at the time, but looking back, man, I think that was probably one of the best decisions I've ever made. So,
Oh, for sure. For
yeah,
sure. So the starting is the hardest part.
yeah.
So walk me through that transition. When you started, how did you acquire your first few clients and how did you
Yeah.
get this going?
So luckily, like I actually had a recurring book of business. I'd met clients along the way from the other companies I worked with, and
Hmm.
it's people that wanted to work with me. They didn't care which company I was at. So when I started my own, I was lucky enough to kind of already have a car, like a base, and at that
Hmm.
time I already owned a handful of vehicles that I was renting out. So I got a nice way to jump. But not everyone in my industry starts the same way. I think I was really lucky when I got started. There's some of my competitors will start with absolutely nothing, and it is possible to do what I've done from that level. I'm a big fan of my own industry. I talk about it as if I'm a fan. But there's all different sorts of making money with renting cars in Miami, from brokering cars to managing other people's cars to buying your own and sharing revenue and doing creative deals. So I love talking about it. You're gonna have to probably get me to pump the brakes. So
Yeah, no, you're good. So segue that into how do you guys rent cars and what kind of cars do you guys carry now?
oh yeah, so we only do luxury and exotic. So today is 25, but so the nature of my business is we have investors who have these cars already and they'll enroll them into the fleet. While they're enrolled, that my company and the investor will split the revenue that the cars can generate. So we do all the managing, like boots on the ground, checking in clients, checking out clients, assessing damages, ensuring, like double checking they have insurance and verifying everything from generating the lead, processing the lead, payments, all that. So we handle
Wow.
everything A to Z from the car, making sure they're clean and ready to go at all times. The investor just sits back and they collect passive income. So for them, all they have to do is sign their car up. Maybe it's already collecting dust, or I don't know, maybe they were just curious about how much their car could rent. And as you know, since you're a snowbird too, like maybe you have a car down in Miami, it could be collecting dust while you're up in Kansas City, right? So
Right.
we've got a lot of investors like that where when they're in town, they want to use their car, but when they're out, they want their car to be making the money. So that's where we come in. And then
Very
my
cool.
fleet is kind of a mix of like some investor cars. I've purchased a few of my own cars, and that's kind of how it goes.
Okay, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So what kind of cars do you have now? Give me your top 10.
So my most popular cars are Huracans. So it's a Lamborghini Huracan. And
Mhm.
when people come to Miami, like the car that you think about renting, that's the Huracan. We also have a ton of Urus. It's a very popular. It's a Lamborghini SUV, so it's basically the same client, but they want to take their friends. The Urus is great, and then another top performer would be the Rolls-Royce Cullinan. It's probably the high-end SUV. It can take your friends with you, and it gives you the option if you could drive the car, and it's a really pleasurable experience, or you could be driven and have a driver, and it's still like a really great experience. So that car is really popular. We also offer yacht charters in Miami and chauffeur services, and so some of those Rolls Royce cars get to double dip. They can be a rental and they can be like a chauffeured vehicle. So the investors that hold those cars get a really nice return.
Oh,
But
that's
yeah,
awesome. That's awesome. Now, you guys operate in Miami as well as Tampa, correct?
We just launched Tampa. So Tampa's brand new. So when I launched the company in Miami in 2024 in January, it has been 100% Miami all the way up until this last month. We've just decided to move a couple cars over to Tampa, and we purchased a truck and a trailer. So now all of our Miami cars can be serviced or like offered in Tampa. Previously, we'd have to charge a client like an arm and a leg for transport services or flatbedding, but
Right.
now we have the ability to do it in house, so it's a lot more economic, and it's awesome because Tampa's growing really fast. Also, Orlando's right there, huge market, so being able to shuttle cars around is like opened the doors to a bunch more opportunity. We're just now starting to like taste that expansion.
That's awesome. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So, what would you say separates you from the other exotic car rentals in the area?
Um, so from the retail like renter's perspective or from someone in the industry, because I would say there's two different
Both.
reasons. Okay, from in the industry, if you were a car owner and you were considering becoming an investor, I'm widely known as one of the most strict and by the book operators. In Miami, there's a ton of people that maybe don't follow the rules or um, not to talk negatively about competitors. It's just not everyone takes this job super seriously. A lot of people like how flashy it is, and there's other benefits being around cars like this. So I think I'm one of the few people that really take it seriously, and people around me kind of get that sense that when we're working deals together, it's very much business. I think from the retail perspective, we just offer really unique cars for really aggressive pricing. So we have other competitors in the space. They'll offer similar cars, but way higher. So I like to come in with like the best of both worlds. We want to offer the best cars at the best prices while keeping great service. So those are
I
our
love that.
three like kind of goals.
I love
Um,
that.
and
I love
because
that.
we've been thank you, we've been not to toot my own horn, we've been pretty good at it to the point where we've got like a really big book of returning business where people recognize that all right, if you want no funny business, just want a good car at a great price, like this is the place to go. And I love that because I don't have to spend so much time and energy marketing to new clients. We've got a lot of people here or that visit Miami all the time that keep us pretty busy. So
That's
probably
cool.
the two different perspectives what make us different.
That's cool. So, to touch on that, where do you see it heading over the next 5 years? Like, what's your vision for it over the next 5 years and the next 10 years?
Yeah. So we started with very few cars. Now we have 25 today, but that number does fluctuate up and down as cars get sold or new cars come or some investors trade. I see the fleet number of cars growing. We've also really expanded and gone heavy into the yacht charter world. So we really like being essentially like a yacht charter broker where we have relationships with boat owners in the area. When we send enough deal flow volume to one boat owner, we get a really good rate. So we can in turn give the client really good rates. So we're going to keep doing what we're doing there, probably expand our book of business where we'll meet more boat owners and kind of touch base on a few more marinas around town. So we just want to expand what we're already doing. And we also have like a pretty big chauffeur and sprinter van arm. So people will call in just for sprinter van services, pickups, drop offs, transfers, airport stuff. And what we want to do next is really touch into Airbnbs and villa rentals. And the reason we want to structure it this way is because we have clients that are already, they're booking the Airbnbs or the villas or the resorts already, is the same client who's renting the car, who's paying for the yacht charter. It's that luxury tourism client. So what we're doing is we really perfected our craft with the cars. We're getting really great at yacht charters. But we haven't even started dabbling into the villas and the Airbnbs yet. So my 5 year plan is we want to have that game unlocked. We want to be the place for all of these individuals to come for their villa, their car, and their boat, like a one-stop shop. So
I
that's
love
5 years.
it. I love where your head's at too, because it's just a one-stop shop and you're serving the same client with their needs, and it
Yeah,
makes it super easy for someone just to call one person and it's all taken care of.
that's
So,
that's the goal. What we
very
found
nice.
an interesting pattern is like clients or tourists that are coming to Miami. The first thing out of those three that they book is actually the villa. They'll book their housing accommodations before the airplane ticket. So
Hmm.
it almost often goes in that order. They'll secure the house first, and then the boat, and then the car. So we've kind of like
Yeah,
started at the hardest place, and we've worked our way into the boats, and we're realizing, oh, these clients already have housing figured out. So if we can now add to that, we'll have perfected that funnel. But it's hard. I feel like we started on the more difficult end of one big funnel.
I love it, man. I love it. Now, up to your journey so far, if
Yeah.
somebody was to start this business, what is your biggest takeaway, your biggest, golden nugget that you would share with someone that you've learned along the way so far?
Okay, so my golden nugget has to do with like lessons that I've learned, like really expensive lessons I've had to learn. I knew going into this to have really strict contracts and really strict paperwork, but I ran across an investor or two that might have had a really flashy car where, man, I would love to have that in the fleet. Maybe I could tweak my contract to accommodate him and what he wants. That's the red flag. Stick to your contracts. Make sure like a professional, like a Florida attorney or a contract attorney has really gone through and made it bulletproof. We had, I would say, 7 out of 10 contracts when I started, but after iterations and rounds and working with teams of attorneys, now I really think we have 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 contracts. And the rule is if somebody wants to work with Rushing Rentals, it has to be these contracts. We can't tweak it. We're not changing it for anybody, no matter how cool your car is. But a couple of years ago, Robert was a bit more flexible,
Yeah,
and that turned around and bit me in the butt. So now it's got to be this way or nothing, you know. So
I
I
love
would say
that.
for someone that's
I love
starting
that.
off, really try to stick to your guns, and no matter how flashy the cars are, how cool those boats look, there's so much liability, and the lessons in this industry can be very expensive. So that's the golden nugget. Be as conservative as possible because the industry is already crazy.
I love that. And keep that integrity in your contracts. Don't compromise. I love that.
Yeah.
So, man, if let's say I'm coming to Florida, let's say I'm a local and I would like to rent a car, how can I get a hold of you to do so?
Yeah, we got 3 ways. You can call, text, or send a form through our email on the website. Um, that's really it. Well, also, we work with an army of brokers throughout Miami. So maybe you know somebody who already kind of works in the space. It's very likely that they're already plugged in with my broker list. So you can get the exact same cars from me or your preferred broker of choice. You can come direct either through our phone number, email, or form through the website. Or we love working with our team of brokers. So it's really whatever the client prefers.
Perfect. And is that rushingrentals.co?
Yep, .co. It's not .com. Someone else owns that, but
You're good. You're
maybe
good. We
we'll
can
buy
get
it
that.
someday soon.
We can get that later.
Yeah.
So for those listening, it's rushingrentals.co. We'll also have an article on our website on miamispodcast.com. You can go to the bottom of that article and you can find Robert's contact information on that article. So, Robert, thank you so much for being here today. We appreciate your time and your expertise.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
You bet.